Well, Stassi Schroeder has more in common with Elphaba, the horrible witch, than we originally thought. That's right, Stassi Schroeder did the Betty Crocker Cupcake Challenge, in which you can either get pink cupcakes, and that means you're Glenda, or green cupcakes for Elphaba, and Stassi got some of the greenest cupcakes you've ever seen. Betty Crocker, you've done it again. Amy, do you think you'd get pink or green cupcakes?
Maybe I'd want half and half because pink looks good with green.
It's so true. Oh my God, that would be the ultimate Betty Crocker challenge completion if you got a wonderful pink and green swirl cupcake. And it's like you've got a little bit of both.
What was this for?
Why, it's for the new Betty Crocker Wicked for Good cake cupcake challenge, in which if you go to your local grocery store, not Trader Joe's, any of those other shitty ones, go to find that big Betty Crocker section. I don't know where the hell they keep that shit. And it goes Wicked for Good, reveal which you are, pink or green, and then you go and you grab that thing, and then by the time you pour water in it, it either kind of bubbles up and congeals as either a pink cupcake or a green. So it's a complete surprise.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but like you said, I've realized that because in anticipation for Wicked for Good, I'm a little bit of both.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, isn't the whole point that Glinda is kind of a bitch and Elphaba is good?
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, because Glinda, I remember, Glinda turns on Elphaba pretty quickly when Elphaba goes to that dance, do you remember? And
Yeah.
she's trying to dance kind of cool, but then the broomstick starts, like, ruining it or something, and she goes, oh my God, I don't want to be seen
She
with
gave her that
Elphaba.
fugly hat.
Yeah, she gave her a really, really shitty hat, and then it's like Glinda is kind of, do people say this word anymore? Like a stuck-up kind of witch? Do they say
Yeah.
that?
Snob.
Snob. That's what I meant, not stuck up. Like a snob, and then, and it kind of turns Elphaba into being sort of socially ostracized, and maybe the key is compassion for some of these odd people, right? Or seemingly odd people that are not actually odd. It's
Yeah.
kind of similar to Cruella, the origin story of Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. Do you recall that?
With Emma Stone.
Yes, with Emma Stone. She was kind of pretty, fun and she works hard. She treats people like, I don't know, she was kind of bossing people around, I guess you could say. But a Dalmatian kills her mother.
Oh, what?
And so her
like
sort
rips her up?
Yeah, two Dalmatians are running from either side, and they both attack her from either side, and they rip her in half.
Shut up.
Really, it's pretty close to that. It's gruesome. And so you find that Cruella could have been good, but she doesn't blow it. The Dalmatians sort of blow it, and she becomes sort of goes towards evil. So it's kind of another sort of reevaluation of some of these archetypal villains.
They are difficult dogs.
Dalmatians. Oh my God. Yeah, they're nightmares. Every time I see them at the park, everybody's going, stop it. They're going, stop. They're really unruly.
Yeah, hyper
and unruly and just awful. But kind of in the same, what we're saying about villainous people is that they can definitely be treated, in a manner to which they could become good dogs. Don't you think?
Wow, what a lesson for the day.
Great. And I guess we've already sort of closed the chapter on that Stassi news. We haven't talked about this, that people have, Wicked's back in our lives pretty soon. Like, it's like November 2nd. They just announced who the Cowardly Lion is. They know who the Tin Man is. Is Dorothy going to make a big pop in at the very end? Probably. But where's your sort of, where's your kind of thoughts on, are you getting ready?
I don't have my tickets. I'm kind of curious. I mean, I'm sure it'll make a shit ton of money, but
yeah.
I'm curious if it has as much interest as the first one did, because I feel like, aren't people kind of over it by now?
Yeah, I was saying that. I pulled Megan aside and I said, it feels like we just got over Wicked. I was seeing ads on Amazon on my Alexa or my Echo show for like 7 months after Wicked was out of theaters. And I was just like, oh my God, can I get a break from this movie? I mean, I love it, but please, can I have a minute? And then now, 3 months later, we're getting back into Wicked for Good. So I don't know. Do we have the appetite for this again?
We will have to see. They did have Wicked Night on Dancing with the Stars
Oh my God, I
last week.
didn't. Oh my God, I didn't see that. You know what's kind of funny is that people are kind of probably sneering, or not sneering, but like laughing up their sleeves at us because a lot of people have seen this play on Broadway and they know exactly how this thing is going to end.
Yeah, I think there's a lot that I will be shocked to see on
Yeah,
how the plot develops in Act 2. Uh, I can't say that it is particularly enticing to me, but I am a little curious.
me too. I'm curious at how it's going to make it seem like Dorothy is justified in pouring a bunch of hot boiling water on Elphaba, and she goes, ah, she's so cartoonishly evil in Wizard of Oz that I'm wondering how kids and Gen Z and Gen X and uh, all these generations are going to now realize that Elphaba was actually really good,
She's a martyr.
and then Dorothy kind of blows her up at the end and ruins her life, and I think she dies from it. So that's going to be sort of a, what do you think? What do you think this new generation is going to think about Dorothy?
Canceled.
I think so too. Amazing. Well, well, great. Well, let's keep let's keep our finger on the pulse of Wicked for Good. And I got to hit you with a Bravo news story. Do you care?
Ooh, please.
Tamra Judge is in the news again, along with Katie Janelli, because they have a big reunion watch party coming up in Tustin, California. Did you see this? I sent you this. Did you see this?
I saw Katie making a little announcement and then I swiped away.
Well, that makes sense, and I knew that there was some worry that you wouldn't finish the video when it didn't look at all appealing in any way. But the reason I sent it to you was because guess who's sort of behind the decks, behind Katie, spinning records for this reunion watch party. You'll never guess. I have to tell you.
Erica Jane?
No. It's you will have so many great guesses, and I'll have to just say no, but they're all great guesses. It's someone you'll never imagine. It's from the Vanderpump Rules universe, an early Vanderpump Rules figure from the season 1 to season 4 era. He's sort of been cast aside, to say the least, and he was known for music, but not necessarily for DJing.
Tell me.
Okay, Mike Shay.
Whoa.
He's going to be DJing. So if you watch that video again, I'm so sorry. I should have said, please watch this video. Don't just delete it. There's a reason for it. Tamra, as sort of a huge, I'm going to curse, fuck you to Sheena, is like, hey, if you're going to be pissed off at me, I'm going to hire your ex to DJ our reunion watch party. And then in the video, it shows Mike Shay doing a bunch of DJ moves, sort of like Tom Cruise in Cocktail, except imagine it as a DJ person. And he's going nuts. And this is going to be, yeah. And then people are reporting, Sheena goes, like the last laugh is, or I'm getting the last laugh. Me and Mike Shay are actually on really good terms. And maybe Tamra didn't know that. So it doesn't hurt Sheena's feelings at all that they're hiring Shay.
I was going to say, what does she care if he gets a paycheck?
No, and she loves it. And they're actually in a good place. So it's sort of a huge Tamra flop.
Well, it's kind of a win in the sense that there are very few people that I would care about seeing, and he would be of interest to me.
Me too. That's why that's why I sent you this, because I was saying, do you want to go to Tustin on when this is, and just so I just got to show you this video again. Watch this and make sure that I'm actually being honest. Tustin, November 6th, a huge reunion watch party, and then watch this video. It's like the cameo of the century. Look.
Wow, looking trim.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh yeah, what is this place? It's like a indoor golf place.
Yeah, it says indoor golf space. And I just thought I had to bring that up too, because I just thought of all the people to take out from the past, and bring to the forefront, and for Tamra and Katie to do that. I thought that was very interesting.
It's kind of strange that Katie even wants to promote the show at this point. Right.
She's sort of, she's doing whatever it takes to possibly get us a third season out of this. It's not, I'm sure she feels like now that I have this bridge from Tamra and there could be there's some redemption for me at the reunion. There is this sort of outlet for me. She's probably like, hey, I'm going to do everything I can to potentially be a part of this in my own way, even though 90% of the cast doesn't like me and won't film with me. I don't blame her for doing that.
Right.
What do you think? So what did it come? Just be honest with me. What does that mean to you, what I just said?
That they're doing that party?
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
I mean, do we think that reunion is going to be worth having a party for?
I don't think so. Just from what I've seen, absolutely not. Andy didn't even do his customary, like when he takes the cards and he does an Instagram story and he starts fanning himself saying this is a hot reunion. He didn't even do one of those for it.
Yeah. He did say that this upcoming stretch of Salt Lake episodes are the highlight of television.
I heard that.
Yeah.
That's good. I believe him there. I believe that he knows that he can't trick us about Salt Lake City. He has to be honest because the bar is very high. One last thing about OC. Did you see these wonderful reunion looks?
No, I didn't. I think I saw Katie's. Is it pink?
Yeah. Tamra is wearing pink. Gretchen is wearing pink. You should see these. Should I send them to you? I mean, you don't have to.
Sure.
It's Gretchen, Tamra, and Katie are wearing pink. Could it possibly be symbolic of a team up? I mean, obviously, we don't think Tamra and Gretchen have teamed up in any way. We don't have to talk about this very long. I just thought I thought that I was going to start commenting on their outfits, and I don't know anything about clothing, so I thought I'd do a horrible job. But Gina's wearing a maroon long dress with a leg. There's a leg sticking out. Heather has a maroon also. It almost is like color. Maybe the theme was like, what would the theme
Valentine's?
be? Red, pink, maroon. Like variations of red. Right?
That is true.
Yeah. So three reds, 3 pinks, and 2 maroons.
Yeah. Everyone kept it pretty simple. There's no like absolute madness like usual.
I agree. I like Gretchen's, I think, the most. Let me look at it again. Yeah, everybody.
It's unfortunately, a video.
Villa Rosa VIPs, take a look, take a couple of minutes, and just let this Bravo TV Instagram cycle through, and you'll see these reunion looks. I like Katie's a lot too. Shannon's is okay. Tamara's is okay. Not the best dress I've ever seen. Gretchen's. Oh my God, have you seen Gretchen's yet?
Yeah, they kept it pretty, demure compared to some other cities that are wearing feathers and headdresses and crazy stuff.
All right. Well, great. Well, yeah, I thought so too. Anything else? Any news that bubbled up for you? Kind of. This is Wednesday when this is coming out. But I got to be honest, that was it news wise for me. Anything else kind of bubble up?
Did you see at that Bravo Andy party? Andy was talking to Luann and he said something about RHONY coming back. He like alluded to something and Luann was like, do you mean the OGs or the newbies? And he's like, can we talk about this later?
You just saved the news segment. Yes, I saw that. I forgot about Radio Andy's 10-year anniversary with that big, beautiful cake. And it had Luann talking to Carol. Luann kissed Carol on the cheek. Ramona popped up next to Andy, and Andy goes, I love Ramona so much for being here as one of the earliest people. It was like Andy was telling everyone, hey, Ramona's back in my life. Look at Ramona again. I thought that was a very sort of a showing the world, like, hey, it's safe to think about Ramona again. And then Carol and Luann, the grudge of all grudges, Ratsville, Luann calls Carol. Them kissing on the couch was amazing to me. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Do you think Bethany was sad she wasn't there?
Of course. Bethany rues the day she ever did all that shit that she did 3 years ago that nobody remembers.
It looked fun. I think at that party, Kiki Monique was saying that someone else was at the lunch that she had with Katie and heard what she said or something. And I was like, I can no longer accept any new information into this topic, but she's still trying to make it a thing.
Yeah, we don't need to know anything else. We all have our opinions solidified, and nothing new needs to be said at all. I hope they don't bring that up on the season finale. They won't, right?
Oh yeah, what's it going to be? I mean, the season finale is basically all about Gretchen having problematic Instagram.
Oh, of
likes.
course. Of course. Much better than that other stuff. Great. Well, we'll be talking about that on Friday. Of course. We'll be talking about wife swap on Friday, but that's not what the hell we're here to talk about now. We're here to talk about this supersized, humongous, action-packed episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, which was called Tropic Like It's Hot.
Clever.
Yeah, I liked that. Tropic Like It's Hot. They're going to a tropical climate, I assume.
Yes.
Where was this? Where was this that they go? I kept...
Nevis?
Oh, yeah, Nevis. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nevis, we learned. This is
Caribbean.
This is good for when you and I start doing Turtle Time live shows in Nevis. You cannot bring camouflage to Nevis.
I know. What a shocking thing.
It's a huge problem. It says it all over all of the literature when you fly in. It says, do not bring one shred of camo. And who Angel brought? A full camo outfit, a camo hat, a camo backpack. It was like, what the hell? Talk about ignoring the rules.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally see just, it. Although, I mean, I guess you got to take that stuff seriously when you go to certain places. There was also a clause about cannabis underneath, but it said that cannabis was legalized, but you need a license for it. So got to be careful.
That's nice. Can I ask you, what'd you think about this Potomac episode?
I thought it was fun. It's kind of that Potomac thing where it was entertaining, but not, nothing mind-blowing. But I think the women themselves, as always, are entertaining. And I think that the new additions are following suit there.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was less intrigued by any of the sort of conflict they were trying to generate. Like, what did Jazzy say about Kay? What did Wendy say about Angel? That kind of stuff. But just them kind of having fun on Nevis, drinking champagne. Stacey got to have some fun. Like that their whole just... their dynamics as a cast were more on display here and more fun, and I didn't like anything that had to do with them drudging up a bunch of shit. That all felt very tired, and like there's no new revelations, that they're kind of scraping at the bottom of the barrel. How quickly do you want to go through this thing?
I mean, there's not a ton that like actually happens. It starts out at this Preakness horse race, which starts out with they're being mean to Stacey still. Kay is like, stop touching me. Your hair is getting on me. And then she tries to scooch over and Giselle's like, don't sit over here. Get away from me. And I was like, they're so middle school mean to her. It's so sad.
Yeah, it just reminded me of when Forrest Gump tries to sit on that bus. Do you remember at the start of it when he's walking down, and I don't remember exactly what the kids say, but they're like, you can't sit here.
Sad.
Isn't that awful? And
is he a young Gump?
He's the youngest Gump, yeah, and yeah. Anyway, I also, I hate how they treat Stacey, but I feel like it's Stacey is not at all being sort of she's not letting this get her down, and she kind of, when Giselle plays her horrible, mean prank on her later, Stacey says that just reveals more about how Giselle is thinking about me all the time than it says that like Giselle actually hates me, which I thought was a good way to turn it back on Giselle.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, there's a few different stray items here. Wendy is starting to try and poke holes in Angel's storyline. She's starting to say that she didn't graduate because they went to school together in the early aughts, so that maybe will come up again.
Do you like that they care whether or not Angel graduated from college?
I mean, I certainly don't give a shit.
Yeah, it was in 2009.
Yeah.
Would anybody who's watching Potomac be like, oh my God?
Yeah.
She did what?
I know. It felt like she was alluding to there being some scandalous reason. So maybe whatever that is the interesting part. But yeah, I do not care for a single second. Yeah. Ashley tries to come for Tia for the most boring reason. Tia invited some of the other women, or Ashley invited some of the other women to come over or something, and Tia wasn't invited. And she said, rude. And she goes, I heard you called me rude. And she's like, it was tongue in cheek. And some people don't know what that means. And she's like, someone says, it's shade. And she's like, I said tongue in cheek, not shade. Keep up. And she says, if I think you're being rude, I'll tell you right here, Ashley, I think you're being rude. I don't know what you're struggling with, which I was like, yes, like eat her up. Tell her that you're not the one.
I liked it too. I was so proud of Tia for pushing that back. And Ashley even tried to make fun of Tia's British accent. She goes, I am keeping up. And I was like, and then Tia was like, I will let you know. And then she goes, and also I have a bone to pick with you, Ashley. And everybody's like, oh, she's going to go in even harder. And then it was like, no, Tia's going to be fun. She goes, I heard from Giselle that you were going to be sexually attracted to me, and you haven't done
Right.
one thing towards me in a sexual way, not tried to pinch my bum, not even blown a kiss my way. And then it was like everyone was diffused and could have a funny moment. And I think even Ashley gave Tia a little credit in that moment that Tia was being fun like that.
Yeah. Tia, strong,
Wonderful.
candidate straight out the gates. We also get Jazzy comes back, and it seems like she's going to be a part of the season. She, spoiler, goes on the trip.
Right.
But she enters and she has beef with Kay. There's some, she's a wag, football wife, and Angel tries to sort of, I guess she was trying to kind of one-up her or like pull rank about her husband being a more important player or something.
It was sports stuff. And so I said,
was confused.
Angel goes 10-year starter. And I thought that she was referring to Jazzy's husband or fiance being a 10-year starter. I was like, is a starter bad? But then Angel was referring to her own husband, I think, right? Who's a 10-year starter. So she was bragging about him to Jazzy, but it wasn't really noted. But Wendy's like, oh, I clocked that horrible comment Angel made, but no one kind of makes anything of it at that moment. Wendy tries to bring it up much later, like on the trip. I didn't enjoy anything between Jazzy and Kay.
Yeah.
Because I know that in this sort of status of being first-time cast members / friend ofs, there is a competitiveness of trying to take each other down. And I know that they're sort of always grasping at straws for any conflict they can have. So I think it kind of just led me to not be interested in anything that Kay had to bring and Jazzy as well this episode.
Yeah, it starts to get dirty at one point. Jazzy's like, I know you're going through a lot with Greg. And then Kay is like, well, I know that you're marrying a guy who had 2 kids on you. And they show the clip from last year where she said that his kids were created while they were not together.
Right.
And then Wendy's doing a lot of prop comedy with her little horse race binoculars, trying to see what's going on. But the horse race didn't have too much going on, frankly.
Yeah, they fought, but it was like barely. And the first lady of Potomac was watching them, and
they go her out.
They go stop. They go, don't do anything in front of her. But then some people kept fighting, and Giselle said, "We brought this. The class is in the trash." And I was like, it wasn't that bad. Nothing really horrible happened.
I did like that Wendy was bragging so hard about knowing the first lady and being a guest of her, and then she was like, "I refuse to be on camera, thank you."
Yeah, I thought about that too, but I was also like, I would still brag about it, even if the person I was friends with didn't want to appear on camera with me. Wouldn't you?
I guess. I don't know.
I was like, I know. It was like if I invited you to a party and it was being filmed, and I was like, I'm friends with Robert De Niro. And you heard De Niro off camera go, I can't do a De Niro. Hey, how would De Niro talk? Hey, I won't do his accent, but hey, Riley. And it goes, Robert De Niro did not want to be filmed. And it pointed an arrow off camera. You'd still be impressed, right?
I'd be like, he doesn't like you enough to film with you.
Really? Really? I thought it was, I would think, I just always assumed that there's some other reason why a first lady wouldn't want to be on camera,
It does feel like a dig at the show. You'd think she would want to endorse a show that is featuring her place.
Yeah, all right. Let's agree to disagree on that one. What happens next? Oh, it's kind of time to get ready for this trip to Nevis. Anything notable about getting there and going to the trip and the camo we already talked about?
They fly into St. Kitts and then they have to take a boat to Nevis. Jassy, for some reason, has to fly economy. I don't know if she was a last minute addition or what, but she's the only one that has to sit in the back. She tries to say, the champagne tastes the same in economy. And I was like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, I said that too. I know the difference between both of those. And then they do have a little bit of comedy. There's a comedy moment, which is not doesn't have any conflict in it. It's just the cast being funny, is when Jazzy takes forever to get off the plane, and they're pretending like it's taking her 30 minutes to get off, and they're like, where was Jazzy? In the toilet in the back of the plane or whatever? And then she finally gets there, and they're like, they celebrate, because she's finally out of the plane.
Yeah. I do wonder what she was doing on there, though, because every single person on the entire plane got off well before she did.
Yeah, I'm sort of like Jazzy in a way. I get all of my electronics and stuff out, like my iPad and headphones and stuff, and I take a long time to get my shit together to get off a plane.
I shan't be traveling with you.
Really? Are you pretty buttoned up and you got?
I'm like up in the air. I'm like George Clooney. I have it all down to a science.
Damn, like George Clooney in Up in the Air, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I've got my freaking what's it called, the pre-check. I've got the priority delta. I'm like ready to go.
Oh my god, I'm more like who's his co-star in that, who's from Departed? I'm more like
Vera Farmiga.
I'm more like Vera Farmiga. She's horrible on that plane. She gets sick. You remember she was doing the barf bags? When I went to see that movie when I was like 25 and I just moved to LA, and it was supposed to be an Oscar hit or whatever, and I watched it and I was like, that movie was horrible. Like, it was so dumb and bad and boring. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen it in probably since.
Yeah,
I don't remember hating it though.
Oh yeah, I was just
not
like,
a Reitman stan.
Reitman. Saturday night, Labor Day,
Juno,
Juno, young adult. Oh, I like
Tully.
Young adult. Oh my god, wait, I like Tully. I like young adult. I like Tully. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Yeah, I am a Reitman
You're
fan.
a Reitman Cody stan.
Oh yeah, I need that combo. That's my favorite combo. What were we? Oh, Up in the Air. Oh, right. Then they come down to Earth, and then they're having a conversation. The camo has to be taken and shoved in Tia's bag because Tia has she has a bag with like 4 items in it, and the producers go, "Why did you have an empty bag to go to Nevis?" And she goes, "It wasn't empty. I made room in it, for the camouflage to fit in there." It was like, that wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah. Lucky for me, I don't think I own one single camouflage item.
I do.
You do?
I have a camouflage hat and nothing else.
No Nevis for you.
I know. I have 3 other hats. I'd bring one of those, but I would be bummed out to leave it aside. And then while they're drinking champagne, can I say this kind of R-rated thing?
Yes.
They go, Stacey, should I say it?
I don't know what you're going to say.
They go, "Stacey, do you suck balls?"
Oh, right.
Out of nowhere. And then Stacey goes, she goes, "No, I never have in my life." And then they kind of just talk about sucking balls for about 1 or 2 minutes.
I sort of, went into a fugue state and moved on.
Maybe I should have. Okay, on the yacht, Giselle says that they're having lunch. Oh, and Giselle, as she sometimes does, she goes, "What a wonderful trip. Guess what? It's Jazzy's bachelorette trip, everyone."
Right.
Jazzy was invited on this trip, but it's actually all for her. And so she goes, and that is despite 2 people hating the fact that Jazzy would come. Really kind of, doing a horrible thing to Kay and Angel, who are the ones supposedly who didn't want Jazzy to come.
Yeah. I think Angel's like, I literally don't remember saying that. Maybe I did, but I don't know. So it kind of fizzles because she's like, I don't recall.
Yes. Yeah, and then there's a lot of other, Jazzy says that she heard that Kay had been talking shit about Wendy. And I was like, doesn't that just make sense? Kay and Wendy are fighting already.
Right.
And then at Preakness, Kay was like, I heard that Stacey has been talking shit about me. And I was like, well, yeah, you guys have been fighting for 3 episodes. I was like, why are we bringing up pairs of people that obviously have conflict? It doesn't mean anything that you guys are talking shit about each other. We know why you would be.
Yeah. Jazzy and Kay go back and forth a few times. Jazzy calls her a sidekick, and then Kay says, I'm a fiance, which is something you'll never be. And it seems like ultimately Kay is bummed out by what has transpired. She's sort of looking off into the sea while everyone else is twerking. But unfortunately, Wendy does give Stacey an F- in her twerking.
Yeah, she goes, somehow Stacey's twerking has even gotten worse than last year. I guess last year it was a C or something, and now it's an F minus. But I think that was kind of a ridiculous grade. F minus. That is like if you don't even write your name on the test.
She tried.
I was gonna give her a C minus.
Yeah, she was kind of just bobbing her head, which is kind of a fun way to do it. Did you see, I can't remember if I sent it to you, but I watched it a couple times, the video going around of Stacey on QVC selling that sweater with a camel on it?
No.
Shit, I should have sent it to you. It's really good. I'll send it after. It's like, I think it appears to be a Christmas-oriented sweater. It's like a royal blue with a bedazzled camel on it, and you just get to hear her wax on about it for, the way QVC people do for like 5 minutes, where she's like, look at this gorgeous camel here, and it's almost a message of what's to come, the beautiful baby Jesus. So when you wear this, it's about the miracle of Christmas, and it just like keeps going. I was like, this is awesome.
I like that. I think there's a unique talent to QVC people to be able to talk about one item for a really long time. I think you and I could do it pretty well.
I think so too.
Just talk about one random thing over and over.
We should go live on TikTok selling like our merch.
Let's do it and have sort of a live call-in feature, maybe through a burner app or something where people can call us live. I really think I could talk for a really long time about some random shit. They keep throwing, these editors hate Stacey. They hate her guts, and they always kind of like throw shade at her for these QVC rants or whatever, but I like it. I think it's fun that she's a QVC host and she does that.
Do you remember that one where Lisa Rinna was selling her like shrugs or whatever, and that woman calls in and she's like, what colors do you have it in? And the woman's like, I'm blind. And Lisa's like, okay, I love that. Like,
really?
She doesn't know how to respond. It's really good.
Oh my God. No, I don't think I have actually seen that. I need to see that QVC moment as well.
There's also, this is now just like maybe inappropriate, but there's I keep getting vintage Kardashian clips, and there's one where Kim and Khloe are driving around, and they are doing that thing where they're pretending that they're out in the world. I don't know what shenanigans they were up to, and they roll down their car window and ask a woman where a coffee shop they could go to is, and the woman goes, I'm deaf, and Khloe's like, thank you. And then she turns to Kim and is like, she's deaf, you bitch.
That's great.
And I'm like, I miss the old Kardashians.
That's really fun. What have you, Megan just put on the first one of the new season. Have you already watched it?
Yeah. I'm such a sucker. Like probably most people would watch it and be like, this show sucks so bad. And I'm like, I love it. It ended with the finale of Caitlyn Jenner coming in, and they treat it like it was like the Kristen Doute walking in on the Vanderpump finale where you just see the sneakers.
So it all came out already?
It's weekly.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. So the finale of the premiere.
Yes.
Sorry. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, good. All right. Well, I can't wait to watch it. I'm glad that's back for everybody. It
I
seems
just
like it comes out
depend
very
on
quickly.
them. To me, they're like almost like government subsidized entertainment where it should just be expected that it will always be on, like the way that like the royals serve their purpose in the UK for fodder. The Kardashians are my sort of American, like they signed up for this. They have to do it forever, and I will watch it until I die because I like keeping up.
Yeah. I think that's a great way to think about it. And what a great title for them, because it's what you want to do. Megan was just saying the same thing. She said it's like checking in with her family. You just have to check in and see what they're doing.
I'm telling you, I'm going to never shut the fuck up if Kim passes the bar, which we find out in November.
She will someday. We've talked about how, it's a major accomplishment, but you just have to study a lot.
I know. But yeah, I will be straight up proud of her. So how about that?
Yeah. If the guy from Catch Me If You Can could do it.
Right.
Remember Carl Hanratty's like, how'd you pass the bar in Louisiana? And he goes, I studied my ass off, Carl.
The big twist is just that he's smart, period.
Yeah. You didn't grade Stacey's twerking, did you?
Yeah, I'll probably be with you, a C.
Yeah, C. Come on, let's be fair here. All right, Nevis. This was kind of funny. This was more a kind of conflict or something I can sink my teeth into. Giselle goes when I saw the new cast member announcements, I knew who Tia was, but I didn't know who the hell Angel was. And then they show photos of Angel, and it's funny because I don't care about filters at all. I mean, I use them every day in my life. I love filters. I do every type of one on my face for Instagram. But it was funny that when someone looks remarkably different, and I'm not even someone who judges appearances at all. It's just, it's objective that Angel didn't look like herself, at least in the press release.
Right.
That one photo that they keep showing.
Right. This is like, how I was saying last week on OC, how they're pulling the thread on whether or not Gretchen is MAGA. And I'm like, do you really want to go there? I'm like, housewives questioning a housewife using Facetune.
You're right. That's true. I didn't even think about that. I think that this is my first instance of getting this served to me on, people have probably talked about Facetune before, but this for me is a kind of a new thing to revel in. But you're exactly right. I'm sure that this is the talk of the town on every single franchise for every single Instagram that gets posted. It's just, I guess I was just sort of starved maybe for something that was a little bit fun. And so Angel having this remarkably different face was interesting to me.
Yeah. I would say it slightly bummed me out just because she's new. So I felt bad for her for being called. To me, that's very embarrassing. But if it was like Karen or Giselle or basically anyone else, I would have been like, ha, like that's hilarious. Like you Facetune the shit out of your photos. But for a new person, it made me a little bit like sad. But I would say if anyone has seen Patty Stanger's Instagram, she's like, it's almost as if a mask is just floating in front of her face. I also can't believe that I understand maybe making your body like smaller or clearing your complexion or something, but then they get into the little like smile where it gives you like a Joker smile. And it's like, that doesn't look good. They've all lost the plot on what actually an improvement is. And it looks like they're glowing, like they're wearing like a mask that is like lit from behind.
Yeah, that's what Stacey says later. She's like, it's like Dr. Frankenstein when he's in his lab. He starts putting parts on this big monster and he goes too far. And she goes, but God love her, she still looks great. I feel bad for Angel later when they're putting her on the spot and really giving it to her for a bunch of other things. I really felt bad because I think Angel is amazing. I think Angel and Tia are perfect casting. But I guess I wasn't that embarrassed because I know all of them Facetune. But you're right. Maybe I should have felt a little bit more bad. When they go into this next up though, when they go into this, their rooms, they're all very excited because Wendy, Jazzy, and Stacey get to go in their own spot together and they are so happy. They like scream and shout because they get to be together. But then Giselle has one last little prank to bring on Stacey, and everyone else got these beautiful cards written to them by Giselle. They are each so unique to the character of the cast member. They're sweet and they're fun. And then she gave Stacey just a blank piece of paper and didn't write her name on any of the shit in her room. What'd you think about that?
That was sad. It is true. It took more effort for you to explain to the people making this stuff. Omit that one. Don't do a card for that one instead of just putting her name, And
that Giselle, I think, lies and says that the card was not meant to be there, but it so obviously was because that makes it so much worse that you actually have a card by your bed that has no writing on it. She should have said, "Stacey, who are you?" ?
Right.
That would have been
make
a lot
little
more
mystery.
Yeah, that would have been really interesting. Who are you? It would have really caused Stacey to sort of question things.
Embroider a question mark instead of her name.
Oh, Giselle, if you could go back in time and listen to Turtle Time for a second. Who are you? And then the makeup bag is a big question mark. And then
like the Joker.
Totally. It would be like the Joker.
Or Riddler.
Sorry. They're so similar. The Joker and the Riddler, they both do things that like make you laugh. You know what I'm talking about? It's so ridiculous. But then Stacey goes, like you already said, takes more time. And she goes, I think we all know now how Giselle feels about me. And then Giselle explains herself. She goes, I knew Stacey last year. I hated her last year. I treated her like shit last year. But now I really don't know who she is. Who is this hoe, she says. So she's really trying to be like Stacey is not who I always thought she was. It's like, you never liked her, and she hasn't done anything differently this
Right.
season. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I also liked when they all bring up the filter Instagram stuff. Angel goes, you're not gonna judge me for using a filter when some of the women here ran out and went under the knife to look like a permanent Instagram filter, and the camera just holds on Wendy.
Wow. I liked that too, but when those digs were going at Angel, I was sort of like Tia, how we were like, Tia, go for it. Go for Ashley. I wanted Angel to say those things in the moment. It's one
Yeah.
thing to be nervous on camera and be like, you feel you're being bullied by all of the cast members, but it's time. She's going to at some point have to give a little back, and she kind of saved a great burn for the confessional and
Yeah.
doesn't really say anything in the moment.
It's true.
At that table.
It's true. But yeah, there's just a lot of back and forth. It's like Wendy versus Kay and Angel, and it's just not that interesting. I'm like, we'll see what comes of it, but they're kind of just like going back and forth, and Angel is saying that she's kind of quiet and doesn't open up to people, and they'll get to know her, so it's like, okay, whatever. And then Stacey, as retaliation for the embroidery stuff, she goes, "You're to Giselle, you're so obsessed with what I'm doing and hold me to a higher standard and what I'm doing with my life. How about you talk about your life? You have a whole ass man named Sean who played for the NFL." And she brings up on her phone that paparazzi photo of her with this man. And it's kind of not that interesting because Giselle's like, yeah, we went on a date. He's not my boyfriend.
Yes.
And so it's like, okay.
Yeah, it fizzles out a little bit. Ashley's reaction, though, was kind of funny. They go, Ashley, do you know of this man? And she goes, what a gorgeous night. The moon is out. I love how it looks outside. Kind of teasing us like that she knows much more about this. And Giselle has said, don't bring this up on camera. But I'm fine with Stacey pushing back or being like, let's bring your romance to the forefront. But I also don't care, and it's not the best ammunition against Giselle. No. It's just like a little sort of playful pushback, and Giselle's kind of just having fun. She's looking at the photos and talking about how hot the guy is. Like, she doesn't care at all that this has happened. And then they go, who here has not dated an NFL player at one point in their life? And then it's the perfect tee up for who brings it up? Ashley?
Yes.
Ashley to say, well, Stacey, we heard that you were talking to an ex I forget what team, Ravens or
former Redskins.
Oh, okay.
Or whatever it's called now. I think it is bad, so changed.
Right. Yeah, one of those teams, and then everyone instantly at the table knows who they're talking about. And Jazzy goes, Chris Samuels, and then it's a cut to Stacey, and they give her 5 seconds where she can't utter the words of what her response is going to be, and then that's the to be continued moment. Stacey's going to have to justify why the hell did she reach out to Chris Samuels.
I know. Do you think she's going to have to? Do you think that's going to turn out to be anything?
No, I don't think so. And I don't really even care if she did. I mean, how long have Chris and Monique been separated? Was she attracted to Chris 2 years after he was married to? She has no relationship to Monique in any way. I mean, and even I doubt it is even anything. But even if it is, I mean, I don't know. How scandalous could it actually be?
Right. Did you see someone posted somewhere? It seemed unsubstantiated that they had the actual contract between Stacey and TJ.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. It was written in crayon and had chocolate milk on it. Yeah, I really was convinced. It said, RHOP official contract. I owe TJ 50% of all my money for the entire time of filming.
Riddler.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? Where was that shown? I saw it.
I saw it on Twitter.
I think it was the dumbest contract I think I've ever seen in my life. It was really, really ridiculous.
Yeah, I decided to move on. I was like, if there's anything to this, it'll come back around.
Yeah. Great. A little more fun, like we said. I'll give Potomac credit. We were kind of having a rough time for those first 3 episodes. Tropic like it's hot.
Yes.
A trip always reinvigorates a cast in a way. And so I think we have a good 3 episodes, hopefully, to look forward to. And again, I love Stacy, I love Tia, and I love Angel. And I'm excited for them, those three, to sort of move forward and establish relationships. One thing we didn't talk about is they finally sort of opened up the can of worms about how Wendy has never spoken one word to Angel, which is bizarre. Because
Right.
they have this relationship with each other of going to a college. It's almost weirder that Wendy can't give Angel anything. And so they kind of remark on that. So I'm excited for the sort of newbies and first-time cast members to sort of establish their own relationships. And maybe that'll be something that kind of shakes this dynamic up with the OGs versus the first-timers.
Right. Yeah, I feel like they kind of comment on that it's segregated between these few different groups, and so yeah, it'll be interesting. But I enjoyed it.
Great. Me too. And I hope everyone else enjoyed Amy and I talking about it. Amy, I got to tell you something. I need to go to the toilet and take a certified turtle piss break. And then what do you say? Do you have to?
I'm down to try.
Let's both try and see what happens, and then when we come back, I want to briefly, as quick as humanly possible, like at lightning speed, talk about this wonderful episode of Salt Lake City.
Yes, I told Riley that we're chatting during Game 4 of the World Series. We have no choice but to do it during that time, and so I was like, we have to be concise with our commentary, but we'll get it all in. We'll just make sure that we're doing it. We're getting every piece of good information in the most eloquent and fast way possible.
You know it, as is the Turtle Time way. Speaking of getting right to the point. Speaking of really quick stuff and doing stuff quick, what about that game? 18 innings?
Oh my God. I was dying. It was so long. I had so much stuff I intended to do. I assumed the game would be over by 8 p.m. It didn't until midnight. It was very stressful, but ultimately wonderful, cathartic win.
Yeah. Was that the longest game in World Series history?
I think so.
Wow.
And
oh my God.
The last one that was that long was also at Dodger Stadium in 2018.
I fell asleep like a kid waiting for Santa to come by milk and cookies. I could not stay up. I was like, I fell asleep at the top of the 16th.
Yeah, it was crazy.
All right, let's take that certified turtle piss break that we talked about, and we'll be right back.
BRB.
Holy shit.
Hello.
Hey, hey, we're back from doing that certified turtle piss break. And Amy, I mean, we just watched this Salt Lake City episode. It's called Above Deck and Below the Belt.
Yes.
And I think it was, I think that was on par with some of the best episodes of Salt Lake City of all time. I mean,
it was really good.
For me personally, I was blown away by it and completely stunned. And I mean, the wonderful moments and funny moments between the cast, juxtaposed with some of the biggest conflict that they've ever dealt with, was perfect. Plus, you add in this below deck element of it where they're sort of going stir crazy and barfing and getting sick, and they're being watched and observed by the yachties. It was like a Bravo feast. It was insane. Like it really, it was one of the best things I've ever seen. I mean, for Salt Lake City for sure.
It does look like, according to a preview I saw during the show, that there will be a reverse version for Below Deck Down Under, which now we have to watch.
We have to watch. Oh my God, I gotta see what they were seeing that we didn't get to see. Like, what the hell is that cucumber doing? Rolling around on the floor. What did Ben think when they didn't want to say that lobster crab cake was so good? Ben, he had to just go with his tail between his legs off the floor because no one would look at him. And Jason didn't get that ceremonious, wonderful applause because they were just fighting too much. So we're gonna get to see they must have been pissed.
I want to see, is there going to be a tip portion? Because they kept alluding to this better be worth it for the tip, and I'm like, can these bitches afford that tip? Isn't it usually like 10 grand or something, or like 30 grand?
They have to. I mean, you know how when you're tipping with friends and you do way more of a tip than you normally do because you're trying to look cool in front of them.
Wow, revealing yourself.
They better do the biggest tip that we've ever seen because I'm judging them against Roy Orbison III.
Yeah.
Um,
Others like him.
People who give him that 25%. I've seen some huge tips. They better. I mean, especially all this water that Meredith is pouring all over
Seriously.
the lobster crab cakes and shit.
Protect the deck.
They were having to clean up. Bronwyn couldn't even sit down because there was so much slime and muck, just like how Todd predicted.
Yeah.
Slime and muck was rising on the yacht deck, and they were having to clean up after them. Let's get into this thing because it kind of had that haunting start the Blair Witch episode had, where it was like, I'll never tell. And then it was kids giggling, doing that choral chanting. And then they go, Jason's like, we've got a body overboard. Someone's about to die. And Mary goes, oh my God, are you okay? And I was like, oh my God, are they saying that Angie or something is going to fall off the boat and potentially, be no more? But then it was just that unicorn that says Jared's voice. Right. It says, good night, my darling. I love you more than life. You are loved. Good night, baby. You are loved. And they have it wonderfully distorted, sort of like a Chucky doll that's, on its last gasp. I thought that was a wonderful way to start this episode.
Yeah, that was great. Immediately it lets us know that this is a crossover event. It says below deck down under, and then it fades away. And Real Housewives of Salt Lake City comes in, which I feel like is perhaps unprecedented. A crossover like this?
A crossover of this magnitude. I don't know. Haven't we seen a cast go on it? I don't know. I can't.
No.
Oh, we've never seen
it. I don't think so.
There's never been a franchise that has had a dual episode like this before.
I mean, there have been women, like housewives from one city visiting another, but not gimmicky like this.
All right. Well, I'll take your word for it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, listeners. But so yeah, we started at the airport. Immediately Bronwyn says, I'm not going to make my flight, have a safe trip, but she is going to meet there. I think Todd is just really making her question if she should be on this trip. She does. Did you feel like she really did want an entrance? She claims she didn't, but she came in that outfit. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, it was just like the hot dog. It was exactly just like a new kind of hot dog, inflatable big life raft outfit. No, I don't think she did. Something happened. Like Todd and her were reviewing legal documents or something. I don't really understand at all why she couldn't just be on the same flight. She wanted to deprive herself 15 hours of not talking about it so she could come,
but she got
prepared.
There 20 minutes after them.
I didn't know what the hell she was thinking or doing with that. I was like, if you miss the trip, I'll probably never forgive you. If you would have let Todd pry you off that yacht, I would have been pissed at Bronwyn for a really long time. I'm glad it takes about 10 minutes in airtime to get to Bronwyn there.
Yes. So we get, of course, the captain on this boat is Captain Jason, everyone's favorite. I bet he'll be at BravoCon.
Oh my God. He's like a pig in shit at BravoCon. We saw him at 2023. He was like, the praise was being lavished on him. It was like, who do you want to date, Captain Jason? And he put a blindfold on and just started pointing at the room. And anyone was allowed to date him. I don't know him at all. Do you know him?
I was realizing while I was watching this that I did recognize some of the yachties and stuff. So I was like, oh, I have watched this a little bit. So, I don't know. Below Deck, I kind of just check in with, or like, my sister watches it, so if I'm like staying with her, we'll watch it, but I don't like hardcore watch it. But I always enjoy it when I do watch.
Okay, I know Joao and Ben very much so. I've seen Ben. I've seen his entire life on camera, and I've seen Joao. I've seen him at his lows. I've seen him at his highs. He's a wonderful person, but I don't know Captain Jason for shit. I know the other two captains. So this was my first. My first glimpse of him in a major way, and he kind of doesn't have any moments to shine besides letting Heather ride on his back on a big float or whatever. But he's not really treated very well. No, he's actually treated respectfully because everyone sort of wants to date him, especially Brittany. She wants a private tour at night.
it's true. And he's like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heather even says, they go, what would you bring if you were on a private island with Captain Jason? And Heather goes, a bikini and a shitload of condoms. I was like, damn.
Yeah, she said 100 condoms and one bikini. I was like, oh my God, to have sex in a bikini with Captain Jason over and over again.
Damn.
And then she lets it slip. Let's just say it now. She tells someone, Brittany, Freudian slip, but maybe Freud, I don't know if it was even Freudian. She goes, we've already hooked up in some kind of capacity. And so that's not something that, we do that as friends. It's not a big deal. And then she's shocked in her confessional that she had said that she had revealed that her and Captain Jason did some fooling around like that.
Yeah. I feel like that's not true.
Really? Really? You don't think Heather had
I think
sex?
she was like blackout and was like, we've hooked up.
Really? They were
That's
both
the thing
blackout.
I love about Heather is that she gets drunk always.
Oh, yeah. Whitney, too. Oh, man. Well, we'll get into it because I have so many thoughts on Heather and I've got so many thoughts on Bronwyn. I can't believe some of the shit that we just watched.
Yeah.
They're going to Canoan. Oh, yeah, they're going to Canoan.
It's a billionaire's playground, which I was like, I don't know in 2025 if that's something we like to say, like an island that's a billionaire's playground.
Well, it is about time for a new billionaire island to sort of wipe away the legacy of the other billionaire island that we know about. What'd you say? Sorry, I don't want to have a
hillbilly moment.
Yeah, how do you say it?
I think it was Canoan.
Oh, I thought you knew, and I was already like completely fucked up. Canoan. That's what I thought. I wrote down.
Yeah.
I wrote it down phonetically.
Okay.
Canoan.
Yeah, they flew from Salt Lake City to Newark to Barbados to Canoan.
A billionaire's playground. Could you imagine if you didn't have the one that we know? That you don't think that sounds wonderful?
I mean, yacht vacationing looks so fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, they pull up, they get champagne immediately and margarita shots. I was like, that's exactly what I would want.
And yeah, a margarita shot is the perfect shot. Not just tequila, which kind of tastes like shit and you gag and almost barf. Like, margarita shot. It's perfect.
They've got it down.
It looks so fun. I mean, they were slipping and sliding. They were going on a swan. They did that awesome. We'll talk about this, but that
the
underwater
Leonardo
thing?
DiCaprio tools.
What's that? Oh,
he's always on a yacht. He's always like using all the toys.
All of his toys, exactly. And it reminded me of when James Cameron and Billy Paxton would go play around underwater. Do you remember?
Yeah.
They use a lot.
Did we talk about that James Cameron? First of all, I'll just give one quick thing. I listened to Guillermo del Toro on Fresh Air. His father was kidnapped in Mexico, held for ransom, and James Cameron helped him gather the funds to release him, first of all. Second of all, James Cameron, he testified about the submersible disaster, but his name was redacted. And literally, like, the first thing he says is, they're like, how did you become knowledgeable in this area of submersibles? And he was like, well, my film Titanic.
No way. JC,
his name is Black. That
is amazing. It's a dead giveaway. Yeah, it has to be him. It has to be him, director of Titanic. That's an easy one. That's great.
But yeah, anyways, I would love to be there. And then, of course, Brittany could not help herself. I don't know which guy on which yachty had the accent that Brittany was doing an impression of. I
didn't catch his name.
Oh, okay. Because he was like, we've got margarita shots. And Brittany's like, margarita shots. And he's like, ha.
Yeah, he goes, ha, have one. And so that guy, Joao and Captain Jason are all sort of in Brittany's sights. Any one of them could possibly be flirted with by Brittany at any time. I think Captain Jason's the heavy hitter, but then Joao, I mean, there was a lot of energy there at one point. She said he had the big muscles.
Yeah, she was kind of harassing them a little bit. Mm-hmm. The room situation is Heather and Whitney, Lisa and Meredith, because they need a bathtub, Mary and Angie, and then Brittany and Bronwyn. Bronwyn's not there yet, but Brittany's immediately concerned, and when she gets there, Bronwyn is concerned as well. Like, they both got boned on that one.
Yeah, and we have to always remember this feud, this eternal feud between Bronwyn and Brittany. Who can forget? These two
Right.
just hate each other, I guess.
Right.
And then Heather, she says, "Don't be too crazy. I love Jason. We've even slept together at one point." And then what happens? What happens next? Would you say?
Brittany reveals she's on a 30-day break from Jared Osmond, and they go, "You're not allowed to talk about him for a single second. If you talk about him, we're going to dump water on you." And she says, she's like, "Haha, Jared, Jared, Jared." And Meredith dumps an entire pitcher of water on her. And it's Brittany takes it with the stride. She laughs it off. Water being thrown has been a bigger issue in the past. Later, there's a more dramatic version of that.
Yeah, but what the hell though? What I agree with this 0 to 100. Not the other thing that Brittany says about Meredith, but I do agree. I was kind of like, what the hell are you doing, Meredith? Dumped a big, huge bucket of water on Brittany's lap at the start of the trip in her dry clothes.
Yeah.
And then Whitney does it too. I mean, it's a little bit of teasing to an extreme degree. And then it gets even much worse when Meredith does it later.
Yeah. So they've been there very briefly, and already Bronwyn is on her way in the little, whatever that's called, the secondary boat that comes out.
Tender.
She's the tender boat. She comes in a yellow, I believe, Moschino. I think all of her goofy outfits are always Moschino because they make clothes that look like other items. But she's wearing like a life raft hat, and it's all yellow, and it looks like a, I don't know, inflatable, I guess. And she doesn't make a meal of it though. She is like, "I didn't want to make an entrance. Like, let's just go about our day." And they're like, "All right, let's all go change and get ready." Angie is immediately getting sick. I felt so bad for her.
Me too.
This looked miserable.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's like she took a pill that made her barf nonstop for a full day.
A Greek getting seasick? What the hell is this?
Yeah, what the hell is this?
She should be like one with the sea.
Yeah, what Greek god is water? Poseidon?
Is that what he's called?
Poseidon is the god of the water. What the hell?
I get confused when there's like the Roman name and the Greek name.
Of course, because they were kind of copying off each other. They're cheating on each other's homework. Romans cheated on, they had all the same gods, but they just named them different things. They stole a lot from the Greeks. I mean, don't get me, I could get started if you want. A Greek who's seasick on water, like you said, I couldn't believe it. She's barfing like you've never seen. I think it's nonstop for the rest of the episode. Even in water, she's barfing up a bunch of stuff. So it's horrible. It takes her out of commission. But the lucky thing for us viewers is that Angie can still be funny with just her pinky finger sitting in bed just talking to Mary. They are the perfect duo later to just be funny and have that the difference of the kind of energies that they're both having on this trip was very fun.
Lucky that Mary didn't give a shit about missing the entire thing. She was like, "I'll stay in this room and get a room service. I don't care." Yeah. This is where we get to see Brittany's unicorn that we were just talking about that has Jared's voice. Bronwyn is like, "I swear to God, I'm going to throw that shit overboard. What the hell is that?" And I think, judging by the preview, it does end up in the sea.
I think that I have to be led to believe that that's what they're referring to. That unicorn with Jared's voice got tossed overboard. Lisa does say at one point, just about the Angie thing, Lisa does say Angie's never been on a yacht before. She's only used to RVs, recreational vehicles. And she goes, so this is going to be a huge deal for her. And Angie does agree. She goes, "I've never been on a yacht." And that made me so sad for Angie because this is her first experience on a yacht and she's spending it just completely throwing up.
I know. I hope that they get her whatever meds she needs for the following day, because if she's like this the whole time, that really, really sucks.
Jason puts ice on her.
Yeah, what's that going to do?
I'm
he
not
said
sure.
it'll cool her down.
Yeah, but can't you have, isn't there stuff like Dramamine or something that people take?
Yeah, she's got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then the Meredith is saying to Lisa, "Do you think that Bronwyn's going to bring up all this shit that's going on?" It really sounds like the Bronwyn news is proliferating the group online and stuff, which, again, I was saying I remember it fleetingly at the time, but I didn't really care. So it wasn't much of a scandal to me. But I think for them right at this point, it's like the number one news item.
Yeah. Let's say again what it is, because it's very confusing. A
Right.
20-year shit that doesn't matter. Who cares? 19,
Yeah.
didn't pay your rent. We've all done that. It's not a big deal. It's who cares. But then the 10-year one, which she says just under 10 years, and then she says 10 plus years. I was a little shocked by that. She was moving the date a little bit. She said there was some felony that was sealed where you can only refer to it by the penal code, and that penal code has 6 different variations of what that penal code stands for, which allows your mind to sort of hypothesize what could it have been.
Right. Yeah, she said it had something to do with something that happened at her work that she cooperated with or testified about or something, but it's sealed and she's not allowed to talk about it. So she's implying that the charges weren't brought on her, but she was involved and she can't talk about it.
Remember Vesuvio when the new host that replaces Adriana is stealing credit cards for Benny? And it's kind of this big, huge credit card scam. That's identity fraud.
Yeah.
And Artie gets so pissed at Benny that he's running this kind of operation at Vesuvio's that he beats the shit out of him.
Damn.
So maybe it could have been something like that, where a bunch of coworkers were ripping off people's credit cards or Amexes or something, and she was not a co-conspirator, a witness, in the case.
Do we know what kind of job she's ever had?
I wish. That would be probably easy. Just go to her LinkedIn. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know where she worked, so that's a question mark. And Brittany, because she's in the room with Bronwyn, goes, why were you late? Why didn't you make our flight? And Bronwyn's like, I almost didn't come at all. I think someone in this group is planting stories. And this is where she explains she was evicted. None of this shit is relevant or current, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, Todd is a serious person. His business is serious. He's very serious, and he doesn't want to be implicated in this at all. He doesn't like it.
He's so serious. He's so
not
serious
happy about it.
He's got a real job. We have
Why
to really
so serious, Todd?
Yeah. Why so serious? Oh my God! If Heath Ledger got to look at Todd, oh sorry, rest in peace. But if the Joker character saw Todd, he'd be like, "Whoa, you're too serious."
Yeah.
It's a little ridiculous or whatever that Bronwyn. It's kind of like when Lala talks about Randall in the season 7 reunion of Vanderpump Rules. I don't know why I would bring that up, but but that Lala was like, Randall, my guy is so serious. He's a producer. He can't deign in this kind of shit with us. And it's exactly how Bronwyn is treating Todd. Who fucking cares? John has a real job,
right?
You know what I mean? No one gives a shit. It's not Todd is not better than anyone.
Okay. Meanwhile, Angie, fully barfing, has to have a bucket with her at all times. And Bronwyn says they all sit down for an afternoon, whatever. And Bronwyn is saying, Todd is upset. He thinks people are trying to dig into my past. And he said it would be probably better if I would have stayed home. But she did end up coming. And Meredith is like, well, clear it up, because everyone's talking about what's going on in the headline. So why don't you clear it up? And this is where she clarifies the sealed thing, the work thing. But she does say that she is concerned that someone in this group is involved. And she doesn't even really imply that it's Lisa at all. She just says this group, but then Lisa sort of gets into a tizzy saying, nobody here would do that. Nobody here would do that. And Mary's like, well, do you think it's Lisa? And she's like, I'll just say that I'd be very upset to find that someone in this group would do it. And I will say that after Amy's party, things intensified. And obviously she had beef with Lisa at that party. So I guess that is a little bit of an implication.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it's, well, this is a bigger issue because it's what Heather brings up later, but I don't know if the same thing as digging up stories and selling them to tabloids and doing what Lisa Vanderpump did is the same as going to get a Diet Coke at your local Wendy's and someone goes up to you and says, I knew Bronwyn in high school. She fucking sucked. She beat somebody up and put their head in the toilet. What is the line of when you bring out shit? What's the origin of it and all that kind of stuff? So I'm the entire time, I just want to say that I'm not sure what the exact accusation is against Lisa, and I think it starts to get a little muddied at a certain point towards the end.
Right. So Lisa's like, I'm getting pissed. Let's go swimming. This is where Heather's drunk and says that she fucked around with Captain Jason. And in her confessional, she's like, no, you can't use that. Please don't use that. And she seems like actually embarrassed, which is funny.
Yeah, it's like she can't believe that she actually said that on camera. Like she
Yeah.
really does want to use the delete option if she could,
Literally.
if she has the power to do it.
Yeah. Angie floats out to sea at one point, and a deckhand has to go save her, and she barfs on the paddleboard. She can't even be on the freaking ocean itself without barfing. Lisa goes, Angie's so full of it, she makes her own self sick.
Yeah. And then they pause for a little bit, and Lisa laughs. So allows a little laugh to come out at her own thing that she made up. Joao and Brittany have a little bit of a moment. She goes, "What are you doing tonight, second stew?" And he goes, "Or no, sorry, not second. I think he's second captain or something."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Are you having a late night tonight?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'm thinking about it. What about you?" And there's a little bit of this flirtatious energy between them that I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, she's on the prowl. Then Bronwyn and Whitney are together in the room. She shows her the Jared unicorn. They start talking about Lisa. And this is where Bronwyn reveals her, deeper evidence that people that are tweeting online are using the term Conwyn, which Bronwyn says Lisa said at Amy's, but it was actually Fraudwyn. And online, the hashtag is Conwyn Fraudport. So it was kind of a mix of the two.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that the producers were allowing this discrepancy to appear to show us that we're not getting accurate information. It's like a little PSA, because it's the third or second thing you'd think if you're accusing someone of fraud to call them Fraudwyn, Conwyn, Fraudport. So I don't think that is necessarily means that Lisa said you got to use this name,
Right.
Call her Fraudport or Fraudwyn. It's the most basic iteration of a name and fraud that you could ever do. So I almost felt like they were giving a little bit of grace to Lisa here by being like, hey, be cautious of what Whitney is saying, how she stirs this shit. I was thinking, like, could you imagine if we were an enterprise that like engages in that type of shit? Like if our Turtle Time Instagram was like, look what Fraudwyn has done. Isn't she horrible, folks? Like if we were just this like evil, awful, group of people that were just trying to make everybody's lives miserable.
Yeah, I like the idea that when you're spreading information, like gossip information, it's the same as if you have a brand deal and they send the boilerplate caption and hashtags, and it's just like, okay, say it must include the points. Yeah. Bronwyn, con artist, identity theft. Use the hashtag Conwyn Fraudport. You could also use Fraudwyn or Conwyn.
I really do respect Conwyn Fraudport. It's like, what's her name? Bronwyn Newport? Right? Is it? Bronwyn Newport? Conwyn Fraudport is a pretty fun one.
Yeah, maybe we put that in our title.
I think that's pretty good. But Fraudwyn was fun. I didn't even remember that Lisa called her Fraudwyn. I like that. That was just off the cuff. I don't think that she ever sent that into captions around the world to say trolls unite around this hashtag.
Yeah, I wonder, did Lisa Vanderpump would have come up with some really fun shit for Lucy Juicy Apple Goosey when she sent it to Radar? She would have sent all kinds of puns. She'd be like, this bitch is abusing bitches.
Absolutely. Who was the victim? Who did this? Dorit? Is Dorit the one who got off scot-free out of Lucy Juicy Apple Goosey Gate?
Yes.
She is the one who did a horrible, horrible send-off for that dog because she didn't want it, so she got it in a kill shelter, and then everyone turned it on Lisa. I mean, this is really, I'm glad you brought that up. This is the direct parallel to this episode. Yeah. Lisa Barlow is Lisa Vanderpump. Heather is Kyle Richards, and they are spinning the fucking shit like Rumpelstiltskin spinning shit into fucking gold to make Lisa Barlow look like she's Monica from season 4. It's insane. It's exactly the same. It's the takedown of the center snowflake holder, and it's happening right now. I said snowfake. Hashtag snowfake. Should I start spreading that shit around? So it's it really reminded me of that whole scandal as well. This entire thing.
Yeah. So Whitney and Heather are like, Whitney's like, Heather, I just think it's crazy that every single time Lisa has beef with every single one of us, there's a leak. And Heather agrees. And they show a montage of Lisa gathering information. She knew about the jeweler for Bronwyn, and, she's always hunting and gathering for tea to use against people.
Yeah.
And Heather's like, I 100% agree. And I think we should get Meredith involved. Go get her. So they bring her in. And I'm surprised she even wanted any part of it. Like, I'm surprised she even sat down with them. But she says almost nothing. She's like, if it's true, it's a problem, obviously. But she says in her confessional, correlation does not equal causation. And she just goes, let's see what she says.
Yeah. She is not tipping her, cards, or not revealing her hand at all.
Right.
She's just a unbiased witness to this, but doesn't want to get involved in any way. And she has plausible deniability when it gets to Lisa. Heather says, this is when Heather's sort of villainous mustache twirling was very apparent to me. She goes, Lisa is smarter and darker than you can all imagine. Devious, evil. And I was like, oh my God, that thing I was saying about trying to make her the new Monica and the new Jen Shaw, I really believe that this is Heather's attempt at doing that. She turned on her so fucking hard after watching this beautiful friendship for 2 seasons that was risen from ashes and is now one of my favorite duos in history. Heather fucking turned on Lisa majorly in this episode. I'm stunned by it. And I don't like how Heather handled this whole thing throughout the rest of this episode.
Yeah, you can tell by Lisa's reaction towards the end that she feels that it's a takedown. It's almost fourth wall breaky.
It is a takedown.
Yeah.
It is a takedown by this entire cast.
Yeah, everyone agrees, apparently. Also, Bronwyn tries to do a Brittany takedown where, because I think Brittany said, I forget how this came up, but Brittany basically says, I will always say what I'm thinking. I'm the only one that will be honest in this group or whatever. And Bronwyn's like, you've said so much shit that you don't say to everyone's face. Like, and they show a clip of them shopping together where she talks shit, like kind of harmless, like who cares shit about everyone. And Bronwyn starts telling everyone at the table, she said this about you, she said this about you. One of the things was that Meredith pretends to have seizures, which I got kind of lost in the sauce of like what she was trying to say. And then, of course, Meredith is immediately furious.
Yeah, it was a turn of phrase. I mean, I was stunned by Bronwyn.
It was lame.
I was aghast. Brittany was talking mindless shit as she got dressed behind some mirror with Bronwyn, who she assumed was her friend. If you're going to have this scene together, I think that she thought that her and Bronwyn were in a good place. And then you watch Bronwyn's huge, exaggerated reactions as she's getting all this gossip from Brittany, as Brittany is just spouting a bunch of shit. Stuff that is, like you said, very low level. Lisa treats me like a big sister, and I'm getting tired of it. And Bronwyn's like, tell me more. Anything else horrible about Lisa you want to say? And laughing at her behind her back because she's being behind a mirror and she can't see Bronwyn's exaggerated actions. So Bronwyn just fucking unloads. She barfs like Angie on the yacht and just throws Brittany under the fucking bus in front of them for no reason. I could not believe it. It came out of nowhere. Yeah. And then that set Meredith off. Look, just like you said. But seizure is a turn, not a turn of phrase, but it was just to say that she overreacts, and it was a stupid thing to say. But Meredith gets all high and mighty by being like, I know people who have seizures every day. And she gets so pissed at her. It's ridiculous.
I know. It was like on OC last week when Gina was like, Jen said that she thought that your bridal party was a joke and she didn't even want it in the first place. And she's like, no, I was just saying, like, that's not what I would have chosen, but like, it's not commentary she needed to hear.
No, it should sound so much meaner like that. And Bronwyn like got up and screamed it to try to throw Brittany under the bus like that. And then it's like a pure deflection. It's the best deflection of all time. Bronwyn built a huge shield for her. Some energy was going to come towards her. She blocked the shit out of it, and it bounced right to Brittany through Meredith. And this is when Meredith, now with evil intent, bad intent, negative intent, does dump her drink all over Brittany. And then Brittany fires back. She goes, what the fuck? Are you kidding? And then she fires her drink back. And then Bronwyn gets soaking wet in the middle of it. And that felt real. Like Meredith feels like someone that, I do think that she's sort of actory. She goes 0 to 100, but I think that she is not someone that would indulge in drink throwing if she wasn't truly inspired to do it, because she hated that seizure comment so much. So it felt, like if you were on Below Deck and you would expect that housewives might throw shit at each other, I was almost like, are you going to indulge in a trope here? Because it's like that is what is symbolic of a chaotic housewives trip. But this actually felt more earned than I would have thought had it been Angie who threw it or something. How do you feel? Did this feel just overblown to you because they're on this Below Deck trip, or did it feel earned?
Yeah, because it was Meredith, I bought it because she gets so fired up. They did get the crew woman, I forget her name, was right behind them, and she, was shocked. And then there's a funny little detail that now when they are continuing the fight for the rest of the episode, someone is like vacuuming between them because I think there's like broken glass.
I'm sure the yachties don't like this.
No.
The water was okay, but I was like, do you even want the deck to have a bunch of slippery water on it? I know it's a boat, and then now it's drinks and ice and potentially glass. Like they must have thought they're the worst guests of all time.
I know. I'm surprised they even let them drink out of glass out there because there's like the hot tub and stuff. I would assume they would be super careful, but also if it's a luxury situation, you don't want to drink out of those shitty ass plastic pool cups. I hate those.
You do?
Your drink is never cold enough. Glass is so much better.
Oh my God. You never told me that before. I didn't really hated those plastic.
But I get it.
Cups.
I'm sure if I ever have a hot tub or a pool, I'll like after 3 glasses get broken, I'm going to switch over and be like, you guys can't be fucking trusted. Enough of this.
Oh yeah. It just has to be at some point. You can't have glass anywhere near the pool. So then this, Meredith gives us a reliving of all of Brittany's sins. She goes, hey, don't get me started on you. Think about all the fucking shit that you did last season. And it kind of is reminding us that Meredith has been playing it cool with Brittany, but she still remembers all the shit that Brittany did, the recording and all that shit that, we've probably forgotten about from last year.
Right. Heather is trying to redirect. She goes, all right, we all need to own our stuff so that we can move on.
Such a Heather segue. I mean, oh my God. Like she has such a producer hat on when she does this.
And Whitney's like, I think we should talk about the conversation we had earlier that also included Meredith. And Meredith is like, yeah, you should. And they're like, you too. And she's like, I was a part of it. You go ahead.
Yeah. Heather gets pissed. Heather gets pissed that Meredith doesn't want to be the one that is going to accuse Lisa of being the source of all this dirt. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Meredith would never do that. You and Whitney were conspiring. You were smiling deviously at the idea of bringing this to the table. Why the hell would Meredith help you out to do that? She's not on board with you. Right. So then Heather this made me kind of suspect of everything that Heather has ever said about Meredith, about how Meredith has been wishy-washy with Lisa. I was like, oh, if this is your view of Meredith, I don't really buy it anymore. In no world would Meredith be the one who brings this up to Lisa in this moment,
Yeah. It's Meredith is kind of stuck in the middle because she's not against this plot. She's like, proceed. We'll see what she says. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Lisa is immediately furious that she would have any part in this. So she kind of loses both ways. So Heather looks her in the eye and goes, Lisa, I think you're the source of all the dirt. And I was like, damn, she just went ahead and said it.
Yeah. Exactly it. And that's that's the pull quote or whatever, like that is it. That's the most succinct way of saying how Heather feels. And for the rest of this, Heather doesn't seem to understand that Lisa would be offended by this in any way. She's kind of shocked and horrified and sort of gaslighting Lisa to be like, what? What did I say? It's like you just tried to have a Monica Garcia reality Von Teese moment on Lisa Barlow, and you expected her to lie down and eat shit and say, yes, I did that. I didn't understand what Heather was thinking for this entire time. Yeah,
I didn't really know what she was supposed to say or why she wouldn't think she would be horrified. Lisa's immediately like, I hope you had my back, Meredith. And she's like, I didn't do shit. And Meredith goes, that's all you have to say? Like, that's all I needed to hear. She's always saying, if she denies it, I believe her. That's her MO with Lisa. And she goes, this is where she says, I'm not the source of anything. People just tell me stuff and now I'm responsible. And she lists off all the places in Salt Lake she goes where she, like you're saying, she goes to Wendy's, she hears a secret. She goes to wherever and the AMC. She's trying to go see Blue Moon. Someone tells her a secret.
Oh my God. I would love I was just going to say, I want to be that person in somebody's life. I want to go anywhere and they tell me all of their secrets that I need to know. And I do believe that people just tell Lisa shit. I believe that the jewelry stuff came from Lisa having a real conversation with a jeweler she knows. And she just got the gossip of the century about Bronwyn that just so happened to be true. I don't think you needed to dig any fucking dirt or report it to any tabloids to just say, this is what I heard, and I believe it to be true.
Right. I also didn't say this last week, but I saw some people talk about it online that it is a very funny, I won't call it, a jump scare that's not scary, just a funny reveal that she's wearing a cowboy hat in her confessional, Lisa. It was new as of last week, and every time I see it, I'm like, I love that she was just like, this is the look I'm rocking for one of my confessionals.
I mean, Lisa is so cool. I mean, I could go on and on. That was after she said I could own a farm. I would be really good as a farm hand. And then I think she wanted to show that she's kind of in on it with that cowboy hat. Whitney is, I don't want to say pathetic, but what's a nicer word of pathetic? Whitney tries to have this moment. This is Whitney's MO for the entire run of it, is piggyback off Heather's success and try to make a meal of it yourself. It's so ridiculous. She goes, Lisa, I need to come to you now. And Lisa goes, stay the fuck away from me. Sit the fuck back down. It's like, she doesn't want a moment with you, Whitney. She never wants a moment with you again. Your obsession with Lisa is eerie. It's weird. I cannot believe it. She tells her to sit the fuck down. This is her and Heather talking, and Whitney will not stop. She gets in the middle of it.
She's chasing her, basically.
She's chasing her, and then Heather actually chases her finally because she's horrified that what she just did is irredeemable in Lisa's eyes, because Lisa at this point now says, I am so fucking sick of this shit. You have no one else to beat up on except me. You're making me your target, the fourth wall break that you're talking about. This is a full fucking takedown. I can't believe that. And then Heather goes, if you can't hear me now, then you need to leave the yacht, an empty threat, as it turns out. And then Lisa goes, I will fucking leave. She wants to leave at this moment. And then she goes to call John, because she is absolutely miserable. This is now the start of the season, and this is now the fourth or fifth fight that Lisa has had with the cast members about all of this shit being brought up. So I completely understand why Lisa is just fed up and sick of this shit.
Because of all of this, they miss out having cheesecake with Captain Jason. He sort of loiters for a minute being like, is this going to clear up? I was going to offer to have they do that captain's honor thing where they come out and join you for dessert. He didn't do it. The chef tried to come out and ask how their meal was and do the little spiel. He left immediately. They missed out on all of the below deck isms.
He left like Charlie Brown after Lucy, whatever she does, that football shit that she does. He was just so bummed out that he couldn't talk about that lobster crab cake or crab curry salad that he did. It was deconstructed cheesecake. Have you ever heard of this?
Wow. They're always doing something monumental.
The cheese is on the side?
It's like the crust was just sort of pressed into the cheesecake part.
Oh, that's absolutely what it was. You don't even need to deal with the crust. It has those crumbles within the custard of the cheesecake. Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
I also liked, you could tell when Mary got her first meal in her room, she goes, where's the rest of it? So they were bringing her coursed room service.
Oh my God, I do wish we could go on below deck just once, you and I. Please. I'll take any of them. What's that shitty one? Sailing yacht? I'll go on that one. Just let us, please.
We'll go on the dinghy version, whatever.
Well, we'd have the easiest preference list they've ever seen in their life, like we talked about. Margaritas.
Yeah, just get me drunk. It's fine. Okay, the crew, it cuts to them in their little chill area, and they're recounting what happened, and they're like, one lady was like, you need to get the fuck out of here. And so she's like, get ready. We're going to have to call the tender.
Yes. Can I be a stinker for a second?
Go on.
I think the below deck side is going to be kind of boring.
We already got all the tea.
It's just like Ben's going to be like, they didn't like my thing. And Joelle's going to be like, she's flirting with me.
If you like below deck, then it would be really fun version where the people on the boat are other people that you already know. That sounds really fun to me.
Yeah, of course. If you're watching it, you mean. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
these guests are really entertaining, but I already love the people that I'm seeing. But I'm just kind of like the mystery of the cucumber.
You're really held on, bent on that cucumber.
Yeah,
They mentioned it like 5 times.
Yes, I know. I just think that what happened on Salt Lake City is just so overpowering that the real meat of even that crossover episode is just going to be them dealing with the aftermath of these guests.
But I feel like we actually will love it because it'll be
Yeah.
stupid shit like how Mary doesn't eat shrimp, and they'll be like, oh my God, she doesn't eat shrimp. Like, what are we gonna do?
I put deconstructed shrimp on her plate. No, yeah, you're right. There's going to be more mysteries and more fun stuff. I didn't even need to be a stinker. What the hell? I'm going to love it.
You're going to love it. So then Heather busts into Angie and Mary's room. She's sobbing. So you realize she's actually very upset with what has transpired.
Yeah, and I already mentioned she chased Lisa. Like, it reminded me of sort of her, I hope this is not too horrible to say, it kind of reminded me of her dynamic with Jen Shaw for a second. Like, that she felt like she had burned a bridge with the best friend of her life, and she felt like she needed to cow down to her, you know, and I was just like, that is not what Lisa wants. She is just reacting to what you did. She can't believe that one final friend turned on her just like the others. But then Heather doesn't realize how much that impacted Lisa, so she's chasing after her, kind of groveling, and then tries to have the high ground to be like, well, if you won't listen to me and you're going to talk to John, then fuck you. But it was after 10 minutes of chasing Lisa around the yacht to try to get to appease her.
Yeah. I also love, you can tell that Lisa's already on the phone with John, but she makes no sense whatsoever and is like blubbering and sobbing. And I'm like, all these men just getting these phone calls where the women are already in full hysterics and they just answer the phone to just so much noise. Like, you're like, hello? What is going on?
It's like, why is Heather screaming behind you? I bet John was so good on that call, though.
He's like, all right, like, not again. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's talking to Mary and Angie. Angie, like, this is the most light she's had in her eyes the whole time. She's like, oh my God, what? And this is obviously very relevant to her because she has some of the most beef with Lisa. And Heather says, I told her that she's the person behind all of this. And Mary's like, because she is. We all know it. And Angie's like, that is very brave of you. I love that you did that. That's very brave.
Really, really strikes at the heart of my typical philosophy, which is if all of the cast members are saying something bad about another cast member, that it's most likely true. So it really does make me wonder if this is a pattern with Lisa, what digging up dirt entails, if it is actually spreading it to Radar Online and Salt Lake Tribune and all that kind of stuff. Is that what constitutes it? But there is enough people here saying it, disparate people, and I normally do trust Heather, that I'm like, okay, is this something, a practice that Lisa did at one point and stopped? I don't really know. I kind of am like Meredith in this scenario where I need to see proof, and I have not seen any proof yet. It's coincidental that the Alibaba, I didn't fucking care about that Alibaba shit for 1 second. And that's all Whitney has to say to tie Lisa to leaking to the press. And I remember that shit was like, it was the Up and Adam, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. So that's not enough evidence for me to condemn Lisa for this.
Right. Until Kiki Monique is on my screen.
I know. We definitely need Kiki to get to the bottom of this.
Okay, so this is where Brittany asks Captain Jason for a tour, and she's like, I want a tour. Give me a behind the scenes. And he's like, tomorrow. No, I'm not doing shit with you right now. And then Whitney sneaks to the kitchen, gets a little kitchen tour. So everyone that isn't engaged in total drama is just sneaking around the boat. Brittany.
I was just going to say, I liked that they kind of did that. Like, they were like, we did a lot of work here. Our show is fine. We can now engage with you all and be silly and have sort of hijinks and peek at your beds and stuff. Right. It was kind of nice of Whitney, although she did almost completely got so hurt slipping down those stairs.
I know you know how that is.
Oh, I know exactly how it is. I hurt my back very bad. It's dangerous on a boat.
Especially with a glass wine.
She's so lucky.
Yeah. And Brittany then for some reason thinks she's exempt from Lisa's wrath and tries to check on her. She's sitting on the little, like, I don't know, floaty thing out on the water. And Brittany's like, hey, like, how are you doing? She's like, get the fuck away from me. Don't touch me.
All pretense of them like being friends is just out the window. Lisa's like, I don't want to talk to any fucking one of you right now.
Yeah, she's like, get the fuck away from me. I don't want anyone touching me. I don't want anyone talking to me. And Brittany's like, me? And she's like, anyone. And she's just sobbing on the phone. Why would they do this to me?
Yeah. Beautiful sort of cinematography here. We don't credit it a lot on Bravo shows, but when Heather goes to glimpse her, eventually when Brittany brings her out, they have this shot of Lisa perfectly in the center on this raft out to the dark ocean. And it's a really beautiful shot. I also want to give credit to when Lisa and Heather are going at it. And Lisa is like, I never thought you would be the one to do this. Like, how could you do this? I'm the victim of everyone. She goes up to Heather and she holds Heather's face. And I was like, that was like Michael and Fredo in The Godfather, the way Lisa held Heather's face like that. It was like very symbolic. I was like, what the hell? And I think that is what kind of shattered Heather in the moment when Lisa had that sort of crying, pained look, trying to reach her in that moment. Very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And then that's when it leads to Brittany being like, I was actually looking for Heather. I wanted to hug Heather now in this moment. And Heather goes, I've got one mission. I need to get to Lisa Barlow and talk to her. It's the perfect enticement towards next week's episode to be like, Heather is going to go walk out on that raft and go talk to Lisa after this showdown.
Yeah. We'll see if that's even possible for them to mend. Next week, the little clips we got were Mary versus Meredith. She calls her boring. There's a murder dinner of some kind. I don't know the reason for that. They have like axes through their head. And there's blood and caution tape. Stassi found dead in a ditch.
Oh my God, she definitely is. Some producer is like looking at the calendar, says, I got this thing like clockwork. We're going to have a Halloween themed episode perfectly in time for Halloween. It's a bunch of monster masks and Halloween outfits. It's going to time out perfectly. So it looks so good. And I think that them being on this boat is the perfect situation for why Andy called this the best episodes of reality television, or up among the best, whatever that quote was we talked about earlier, because they are going to only get more and more stir crazy on this yacht. You know what I mean? And it was already so good. So I can just imagine it's going to continue, you know, for the next episode.
Yeah. The last little tidbit from next week is that Brittany sort of implies that Seth had indiscretions and Meredith goes apeshit. So Meredith will be pissed off next week, which at least she'll be activated in some way. We'll see, but I'm very much looking forward to that. This episode was a blast.
It was a blast. Oh my God. I was thinking right after, I was like, okay, I get the Us Weekly cover. Best cast ever. Like this is probably second or third, after the RHONY cast we always talk about. Like these are OGs that are still making this kind of amazing television with not very many cast shakeups. And then these 3 new additions that are wonderful, or just two new, Bronwyn and Brittany. But great, wonderful. Well, let's conclude this episode of Turtle Time. We've got a World Series to watch. We don't know what the hell is going on.
I know. Game 4. I'm scared to check. The shit is turning on a dime these days. But go Dodgers. I guess no. There'll still be by the time you hear this, we won't know who will have won the World Series. So.
No. But let's take a break. Let's not promote any of our shit. We don't need to anymore. Let's go. But I do want to just say that I am wearing one of the most beautiful pieces of merch I've ever had in my life. You got to go on YouTube for this thing. I don't know when the fuck in the episode this is, but I'm wearing this I Died at BravoCon and Went to Heaven beautiful Turtle Time shirt that Amy designed. I got this in the mail today and I was like, I look fucking cool for the first time in my life. If somebody saw this on me walking around, they'd be like, what the hell is that shirt? So I just want to say this thing is awesome. And if you either are inspired to go to BravoCon or you don't want to go, but you want to pretend you did, you got to go to the Turtle Time merch store and buy this shirt. It looks awesome.
Yeah,
I look like a punk rocker.
Yeah, it's really edgy and cool. We have a Phaedra shirt, a Shannon Bedore shirt, a Randall shirt. So go check it out. There's all kinds of goodies on there. And as always, join us on Patreon, rate and review. Thank you.
Yeah, and this episode is called Conwyn Fraudport.
Yeah, I like
Goodbye.
it.